Hey, I'm Stephanie Rivera and I'm on the Hallenbach team.
And I'm Nikita Burdick with Prosperity Lending.
And today I want to talk to you about this thing that you keep hearing about. It's called a 2-1 buy down.
The 2-1 buy down is where you can use 2% off the par rate the first year and then 1% off the second year.
Right.
So the par rate is your starting rate. And one thing you have to keep in mind is that you have to be comfortable with where the rate's going to end.
Right.
So let's say we start at 7% and there's no cost at the 7%.
Right.
Then your first year will be 5% interest rate, and your second year will be 6%, and your third year will be 7%. So you need to make sure that you can pay the mortgage at 7% just in case rates don't get better before.
Yes. So again, this isn't for everybody. This is only going to be for a specific crowd. Could this even be for a secondary home investment? Who would really want to use this?
Yeah, so you can use it for any type of property, whether it's primary home, secondary, or investment property. Something to keep in mind is that there are costs associated with it. So even if there's no cost on the third rate, you have to pay costs on the second and the first.
Yeah.
And the cost is the 12-month monthly difference between the rates.
Right.
And so you can use a seller credit for it, but there are seller credit maximums. You want to make sure that you're meeting those as well.
Right, so here's an example. This would be really attractive to a buyer. Typically, I see these in the MLS all the time. It'll say, for your buyer, we will give a 2-1 buy down, or we'll give enough seller credit in order to help you with closing costs. So when I get a client like that, I typically go to Nikita and make sure that it's going to be a valuable fit for my buyers.
Absolutely. And you can start at any starting rate you want to start at. So if you're getting enough of a seller credit and you want to start at 6% and then have a 4% and a 5% interest rate, you just have to make sure that the seller credits are enough and they're allowed.
Yeah, and so it's really just going to be dependent on a case-to-case basis where you go with the 2-1 buy down.
But the one last point on the 2-1 buy down is that you have to keep in mind that everyone thinks rates are going to get better in the next year or two, but we have no crystal balls as lenders or agents, so you really have to make sure you're comfortable with what it's going to adjust to.
I'm too focused on this beautiful newborn right now, so.
Mom and work life.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for staying tuned with us, and we hope you took some valuable information from this. Again, if you want to like or subscribe, or if you think this is good info, please comment below, and thank you, and we'll talk to you again.
Thank you. Have a good one.